¿Tiene usted un pequeño negocio o le gustaría emprender una idea? Small Business Connection le puede ayudar. Mi nombre es Pablo Valle, el padrino de networking y presidente de Small Business Connection. Llámenos al 281-971-1976. El número es 281-971-1976 para llevar su negocio o idea a otro nivel. Small Business Connection.
Second bilingual program. My name is Pablo Fabrizio.com, the godfather of networking and also founder of Small Business Connection. In this second segment, we have two great leaders, community leaders, leaders of impactful organizations here locally in Houston. And today's topic is going to be a great topic of interest. We're going to be talking about women in construction, specifically the summit that's coming up this August 26th of this year, from 6 to 9 p.m. virtually. So we have two great leaders. We have Adriana Gonzalez from La Cámara de Empresarios Latinos de Houston, and we also have the NHPO chair, Ilsa Garcia. Adriana, welcome to the program. Ilsa, welcome to the program. Adriana, introduce yourself to our audience. And you're in mute? You're in mute, mute.
Can you hear me?
Awesome. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll edit it, we'll cut it, we'll shrink it. So welcome, Adriana.
Gracias, Pablo. Thank you for having me in your Enfoque Houston.
Awesome. And then we also have Ilsa Garcia. Ilsa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ilsa Garcia, chair of NHPO Houston. And a little bit about NHPO Houston. We've been in existence for 17 years. We're a professional networking organization, and I'm proud to be the chair for the past 4 years.
Awesome. Welcome, Ilsa, and welcome NHPO. Adriana, let's start talking a little bit about La Cámara de Empresarios Latinos. It's an organization that's been around for what, 26 or 27 years now?
27 years this past April. So 27 years. Well, the chamber is mostly, Cámara de Empresarios Latinos, mostly is information, education, and support to the Latin entrepreneur. Anything that has to do from any kind of business, from the ones that work from home to corporate companies. And so the main reason is to educate them and give them that extra information and support to go to a next level.
That is awesome. Awesome. We have two great organizations, two great leaders. One organization, a chamber that supports the Latino community, and Ilsa with NHPO, a professional networking organization that also contributes to not just the professionals, but also to entrepreneurs and business owners. So today, what we want to talk about in this program is we want to talk a little bit about construction, specifically women in construction, and our upcoming Women in Construction Summit. So one of the things that we want to discuss first is what's going to happen. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen in that event. What can we expect in that event? But before we do that, let's start talking a little bit about what is happening with women in that construction industry here locally in the Houston area. As we know, construction is a male-dominated market, and it's sad to say that, to admit that, but you know what, it is what it is. But we want to talk a little bit about how that market is, what opportunities there is for women, and what we could do in order to increase that awareness. Because you know what, it's not about women not being able to do business with private or government entities, it's the lack of information that they have. So Ilsa, tell us a little bit about your perspective about what you've seen locally here in Houston with construction, with women, and then we'll talk about minorities.
Sure, Pablo, thank you so much. You know, what a hot topic this is, women in construction, because like you said, it's a male dominated it's a male-dominated job. Basically, when you see construction, it's basically led by men. But a few years now, and just recently, about a month ago, I am also in partnership with Live Fund, who NHPO is in partnership with Live Fund, and we had a woman that on the show on the Lift Fund show that partners up with NHPO, and she has a construction company. It's called Big Star or Star Construction, and it was so interesting to hear her story and just basically talk about how she has to work double in order to get these contracts. But we have a lot of organizations out there like a NAMAC, which also works with minority contractors. But also we want to say, when we say minority contractors, it's not only race, it's not only the color of skin, it's also the male to female ratio. When we really talk about minority, we're really pushing in the gender. Unfortunately, we put gender in there because women are overlooked sometimes for these major projects. But like I said, recently in these upcoming months or years, I've noticed that organizations have popped up, as well as I'll let Adriana talk about that, but organizations like her that we push these small businesses, and a lot of them are women-owned, Latina-owned, just basically women-owned, and we push them in these forefronts so that they're able to get visibility and get these contracts. Believe it or not, I mean, women are top on the list of the city government proposals on the city, on the contracts, not only for minorities in terms of race, but minorities in terms of gender. They're also being pushed to the front to get these contracts in order for their business to also be part of building our city. So how I think about it is that, yes, women are not known for the construction business, but heck, women are all over the city of Houston and all over, all over our city, all over Texas. And it doesn't matter at times, race, color, religion, it's how hard you work and how you sell your product to those that are seeking your services.
That is fantastic, Ilsa. Thank you for collaborating with that. And I had mentioned before that there's a lack of information that is being put out there, but there's a few entities, I could say few, or maybe one entity that has taken the initiative, that has taken the lead on providing this information to women, and that's specifically La Cámara de Empresarios Latinos de Houston. And I want Adriana to talk a little bit about the two great programs, a huge program that she just culminated with a partnership with other entities and also a university, and then a breakfast that she put together with all these government entities during a pandemic, all in one room, and they had to close it at over 125 guests because of COVID restrictions. So Adriana, talk to us a little bit about what you're doing with those great initiatives with helping women in construction in the Latino community.
Well, the first initiative was Women in Construction. It was 10 weeks. We did it together with Magna Group. It's a construction company, or university for construction. We have it was online, was Facebook Live, and it was over 700 women that got there every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we went through not only the administrative and the financial part of a business, but also the framing, how to put floors, the roofing, the siding. So every Saturday they have something different. We also, as NHPO, we also partner with Lift Fund, and now we are, those women, we are sending them to the program that they have that is at St. Houston, which it has everything to do with construction. At St. Houston is not only for women, but now we're doing a group that is only women in construction, which is, I think it's great that they come with that initiative. The other thing that happened was last Wednesday, or Wednesday the 11th, where we put 9 organizations on a stage. Was the Port of Houston, of course, Metro, we put Chase Bank, was OVO, SBA, SBDC, Precinct 2. I mean, was all the organizations that work with minorities to do contracts. They talk about certification. They talk about how programs, they talk what programs they can be available for all these minorities. And it's not only women, even if we focus right now on women, but it's for all minorities. One of the things that they said is you cannot wait behind a desk to get these contracts to you. You had to get out there and get them. So it was a lot of information that was given to these entrepreneurs and these companies. And great things came out of that breakfast. We also have people from outside United States, from Mexico. So they talk about investors and how they can invest on these companies. So it was a real good informative breakfast, which is what we wanted to do, because everybody is like, I want to get certified, but they don't know where to start and how to keep going with a certification. So that was the main reason for that breakfast.
That is awesome, and you know it is amazing what La Cámara is doing, and specifically Adriana, because I don't know if Adriana ever sleeps. She's out there. She's out there working so hard for all these entrepreneurs, and so is Ilsa. You know, we've been collaborating in a lot of different events, and the one thing that I wanted to mention is why we wanted to do this summit. And you know, we call it summit for lack of a better name. You know, we want to create a name that it's impactful, that draws that attention because of how important this issue is. And the other thing is, you know, we also want to cater to the minorities. Of course, we're being Latinos, we're going to attract more Latinos. But again, like Ilsa said, you know, with minorities is the ratio of men and women, and also the other entities. We have the African American community, we have the other minorities that you know, collectively we could come together. Sometimes it might seem challenging with the different cultures coming together, but you know what? It might be challenging, but not impossible. So what can we expect in this summit? One of the main things that we want to do is this is not going to be a 10-week training program. That we want to definitely make clear. It's not a training program. What we're there for is to talk about the state of construction locally here in Houston. Why the state of construction? The reason we want to bring that up is because of all the construction opportunities that are going to be happening in the next 5 to 7 years, with Harris County expanding the infrastructure, with City of Houston maintaining the infrastructure and also enhancing the infrastructure, with Port of Houston also with their construction projects to support the port, and of course Metro and all the other entities. And that's the main purpose, to provide that information. One of the things that I want to discuss with Ilsa and also Adriana is that, you know, how can we get this information out there to minorities, to women? What else can we do aside from putting a 4-hour summit, aside from putting a 10-day training, aside from putting all different entities in one stage? What else can we do so we could put this information out there? Because I constantly hear, and this is not a myth, being from the government, I constantly hear that, you know what, we're always awarding contracts to the same contractors. It might seem a myth, it might be a perspective, but sometimes perspective is reality. What can we do, Ilsa? Let's talk about that specific challenge that we have.
Sure. The power of social media is so important, Pablo and Adriana. I know that you both understand that, how important it is to not only have these seminars and not only have these conferences, because that's when I feel those are so important to bring these up, because you're bringing awareness. But what happens after we do these seminars and conferences, right? What happens? We sometimes don't touch this subject again until months later. We'll wait another year and bring this up. To me, the most important thing is gathering the information from all the people, all the guests, all the people that were on that attended, because they were there for a specific reason. They were there because they wanted to know something about in construction, right? Women in construction, because we each attend these events according to what we want and what we know and what is beneficial for us. So to me, social media is so powerful, but most importantly, the follow-ups and the continuation of talking to the ones that you know were there for a specific reason, and wanting to know the follow-up. Did this seminar, did this conference help you? You know, let's stay in touch. Continue contacting me. I think that is so important. And if we, like for NHPO, we guide them, like Adriana said, with Ascend and Lift Fund. But after us guiding them to that point, do we contact them and say, hey, how's it going? send them a quick email. How was your week? How did your week go? Did you get any bids? And then again, the power of social media is so important. And once you touch, like Amara de Empresarios and like yourself, Pablo, that are going to touch this subject of women in construction, the importance of social media to actually send out again a follow-up to it, maybe a follow-up reunion, a follow-up, like a conference a month after, and say, the aftermath of this conference, or interview somebody who took it to that level where you touched them enough that they went out there and did something, and now they're this successful in this business. To me, the follow-up is very important. And this is how we keep in touch with those that we know we have touched and that you helped out.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. And that's key what you mentioned, follow up, I guess, not just in women in construction, but in everything you do, networking, going to those seminars. Now, Adriana, your chamber, Cámara de Empresarios Latino, has been doing a phenomenal job, and I acknowledge that everywhere I go, with everything you do, with all the trainings, with all the seminars that you put together. What else can the chamber do to their members? Porque I'm going to mention this. You could lead a horse to drink the water, but you cannot make that horse drink the water. What else can we do, Adriana, from your perspective? Because you've been doing a lot more than any of us have in the recent months.
Well, one of the things that, and it's a little bit what Ilsa said, the follow-up of what they have to do. They, like I said, everybody wants to be certified, but what happened after certified? How I look for those contracts? Who are prime? How can be a subcontractor? How can I become a prime? What insurance do I need? What do I need? What's the bond? So there's a lot of questions besides I have a paper that says I'm certified with this entity. There's a lot of more work after that. So our job is to guide them and tell them, and let me say, not to do the job for them, but guide them for them to do it. Because like I said at the beginning, sitting behind a desk, the contracts are not going to come and fall in your desk. You have to go, you have to get it, you have to look for it. You have to know what you're going to bid for, what proposal you're going to put for, because you can just not do proposals and then maybe you cannot do it, or you don't have the money for payroll, or whatever it is that you need to do. So that's the guidance and the follow-up that we have to do. Take them by the hand and say, okay, now you have to get into this email or in this website and look what they have. I know that, I get the bids from Nelson from Precinct 2, and we put it out there and said, okay, this is the bids that are for this month. See what you can do. And sometimes they come and say, well, how I get to know what the specifications are. So we take them there. And so that's the kind of things that we can do for these people to find. And then, like Ilsa said, follow up. Once you get the contract, are you okay with the payroll? Are you okay? Do you know how to invoice the entity? There's a lot of more things, like I said, that have a paper that says I'm certified with the city. There's a lot of more after that.
It's interesting, Adriana, you bring a good point, and one of the things that you're talking about is that guidance, that continuing guidance, and what Ilsa is talking about is that following up and providing that guidance. And I'm going to venture, and I'm going to say this very boldly, there is not an entity that collectively does something like this, because yes, independently, each organization, each government entity has their training. You certified, what's next? But those trainings are, I call it a high level overview, and you cannot learn everything in one of those sessions. And like Adriana is saying, you definitely need that guidance, because you know what, you're absolutely right. Once you get certified, a lot of people put that nice certificate up on the wall and they just wait for something to come their way. That's when you continue following up. That's when you continue networking. That's when you continue getting that guidance from La Cámara, from LIFUN, from NHPO, from seeking out these other entities. And, collectively, there's a lot more that we could do, because, you know what, even us, organization I'm part of, Metro, we have our training, but the training is specifically geared towards helping those folks get there, but it's not a generic, because I personally have not seen, and I can say this because I'm a Metro employee, I have not seen a training that says, what are the specifications? How can I put this together? What is the magic number that they're looking for? Or what would be the magic number, the bid that I could put in that I could sustain this project? Because it's not just putting a low bid. I've seen a lot of people put low bids, and they bid too low, and they get themselves out of business.
In trouble, yeah.
In trouble. So that's a challenge. And one of the things Adriana is mentioning is the insurance requirements and all that. So basically, what I'm hearing and what we have been discussing independently and collectively is that there still needs more information to be put out there. So the next step would be for us to go out there, put this information, but you know what? We also need the people to come and get the information. Just like Adriana said, we're putting this information out there. We're not going to go to your desk and put it in your desk. You have to come out and go out and seek it. So this August 26th, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is going to be a virtual event. It's going to be a Zoom meeting. We're going to have a panel. We're going to have two panels. Ilsa Garcia is going to be moderating one panel where we're going to have a mixture of private and government entities. We say private and public. Public is the government entities. And what we're going to be talking about in that panel, Ilsa and Adriana, is we want to talk a little bit about the state of construction. What is the state of construction? What is happening with construction? And we're going to bring in some people from Lift Fund. We're going to bring some people from the private sector. And, we're looking to bring in one of these major contractors, these major contractors that everybody's afraid to partner up with, and then let them talk about that state of construction from their perspective. And then Adriana, the second panel that Adriana is going to be moderating is going to be with all the government entities, Port of Houston, Metro, City of Houston, and Harris County. And then the focus there is not just how to get certified. There could be a brand new seminar just on how to get certified. But the main thing here is opportunities. What opportunities are available? What opportunities are available for people that are just starting? And then we want to focus on real opportunities, because I know a lot of the government entities are now going to be starting or have started or soon will start their fiscal year. So what else can you offer, Ilsa, to the people out there, to the women, to the minority that want this information? What do you recommend them?
Well, first of all, to attend August 26th, to attend this Zoom conference, because you're going to receive a wealth of information. When we talk about, seminars and conferences, when it comes to this, and when it comes to building your own companies and actually, having your own construction company, which basically it's like owning your own company, right? There's a lot of things that come into play. And when I've done the shows with NHPO and I talk to people, and one of the main things that always comes up is education. You have to get educated in how to do these things. And for many out there, it's just not simply filing for a company name with the city. It starts that way, but educate yourself in the financial part, in the branding part. What do you want your company to do? What do you want this construction company to focus on? Are you focusing on city entities? Are you focusing on building homes? What do you want to do? And so it's so important that you have a structure in your mind as to what you want to do. But attending on August 26th should be a great start, so they can put you on that path or on that road to opening up your business for yourself. I mean, it's so important to do that and to learn. And if you already have a business, but you seem to be stuck and not be able to get these bids, not be able to get these contracts, this is a great opportunity to hear from those that are up there that do get these bids, that do get these contracts, and learn from them. Maybe it's something so small that you can tweak that will make your company a success. So what I do encourage is that if you are listening to us today, that you attend on August 26th. If you cannot attend August 26th, that you do seek this information by contacting Pablo, contacting Adriana, contacting myself. So we're able to guide you in that right direction to either you helping on one-on-one, but most importantly, guiding you to these companies or these organizations that can get you on the right foot to start this construction business or any business that you have in mind.
Awesome. That's great. And Adriana, I want to touch an important subject with you because not only are you the president and CEO of the chamber, but you also run a construction company along with your husband. And what I want to talk is a little bit about what has been some of your challenges with that particular company that initially that you have, because now I believe you're a lot more structured, stable, and getting bigger contracts. But what were some of the challenges that you had with that construction company?
I think one of the most challenges is to find employees right now. To find people that wants to work. And I think that's in all the markets. It's not just this construction, restaurants, hotels, even administrator office are looking for people to work. And right now it's like they don't want to work. So that's one of the biggest challenge. And of course, when you grew in a company, your capital and your cash flow and that's why it's so important, like Ilsa was saying, get educated, but also get informed and surround yourself with experts, people that know about what you need to do to grow your company. We tend to want to do it all, or we tend to know it all, and we don't. And so that's so important to surround yourself with experts, to inform yourself every day. There's always something new, and especially in construction, the permits, the licenses, the bonds, the how to do a proposal. So it's a lot of more than just say, I have a construction company. It's a lot more than that. So that's why this summit on August 26th, I know there's women in construction, but I'm sure we're inviting everybody. And it's going to be so informative that people needs to attend. If they want to know what they don't know now, they need to be there. And, we have been seeing businesses that have been in business for 10, 20, 15 years. And then they go to these summits and they said, wow, I've been doing this wrong for all these years. So I'm glad that I came. So I hope that a lot of people attend and get informed about everything that is going on right now.
It's very, very interesting. Thank you, Adriana, for sharing that, because, a lot of people that are usually past that 5-year mark, because as we know, small businesses usually fail. 50% of those small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Those who make it past those 5 years, usually, there's another 50% that fail after those 5 years. But then there's some people that believe that they've been in business for 10, 20 years, and they believe that they have it all. But like Adriana said, sometimes it can be that little nugget of information, that new program that maybe nobody knows about. There's a lot of new initiatives that are coming up locally here in Houston. Maybe you've heard about it, or maybe you haven't heard about it, or if you have, maybe you don't know how to get connected with those people, because everybody has that intention of wanting to do something, but a lot of people do not know where to start. So having said that, Ilsa, what would be a great first step for minorities and women that want to expand their business, want to start a construction business, want to expand the existing construction business? What would be that advice that you would provide them?
Research everything that you do. That is such a main thing. And like you said, not only in construction, but in business and everything that you want to really prosper. Time is so short, Pablo. When I see this and I talk to people that they're entrepreneurs, one of the main things that they want to talk about is they want to say time is there's not enough time in the day, right? So you're going to bump into mistakes. You're going to bump into hurdles and walls, because it's not normal. It's not common to open up a business. It's not. I mean, it's like we don't wake up the next day and say, today I'm going to open up my earring business, right? There's a lot of research that comes with that. I mean, there is the product, the market. What exactly do you want to, build? Construction is such a big word, right? Like when I hear construction, you automatically think I'm going to construct houses, buildings. Absolutely not. Construction always comes with bridges, roads, highways. There's a lot of things. So to me, my first advice to somebody would be research. Have a game plan. Write it down. Write down your game plan and say, this is what I have in mind to do. This is what I want to do in terms of construction, even branding, even talking about where exactly you want to hit, and always research where. You don't want to pile up with 6 people in one area, because guess what? You're the new person in town. So you may not get that specific bid. You may not get that specific job because you're the new kid in town. So be specific on what you want to do. Go to the bank, go to these organizations to help you, but with a game plan, with something well written and well thought of, because this is how they're going to lend you the money, or organizations are going to help you get your if you have a well written game plan. That is my advice. Research, educate yourself, and have a game plan.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Adriana, your advice to entrepreneurs, women in construction specifically, that may say, well, I am too small, or my company's too small to do business with the government. What advice will you tell those women?
Well, I think nothing is small if you do it with passion. But backing up what Ilsa said, get educated, get informed, don't be afraid. Afraid is a good tool to success. So if you're afraid, break that barrier and go for it. And get experts, like I said, education, information, support, passion, research. They are all words that we say every day to everybody. But they need to do it. I mean, we cannot do it for them.
Fantastic. The last thing, Adriana, how can people get connected with La Cámara de Empresarios Latinos?
Oh, they can call us at 713-774-5002, or they can go to our website, www.empresarioslatinos.org.
Fantastic. Now, do they have to be Latinos to be part of your chamber?
No, they don't.
Awesome. And my understanding is that you're expanding your chamber internationally as well, right? What other countries do you already have the chamber at?
We have Ecuador, Mexico, of course, Argentina, Spain, El Salvador, Colombia. So yes, we are expanding quite a bit.
So soon you're going to have to change the name to the International Chamber of Latin Entrepreneurs.
almost.
That is awesome.
Awesome. We always be Houston, though. Houston is our passion. So
awesome, great. So hey, thank you so much, Adriana. Thank you for participating. Ilsa, how can people get connected with NHPO? How can they join your organization?
Sure. You can locate us under NHPOHTX.org. That is our website. You can connect with us on Facebook under NHPO Houston. You can also connect to us under our main number, 281-795-5729. And you can also connect with us on September the 16th at the rooftop at the Hilton Medical Plaza, where we'll be celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And we will be up there alongside with other organizations for another grand event. Again, we will follow CDC guidelines, have our masks, have sanitizers available, so you can meet NHPO there, get to know our organization and how we can connect you to the vast information and resources in the city of Houston.
Awesome. I thought you were going to say the Fast and the Furious.
As well. We'll have a roll there as well.
And then, the great thing is you already mentioned one of your upcoming biggest event. Adriana, I know you have several events throughout the week. What is the next major event that La Cámara is going to have?
Well, we have our breakfast in September, where we're going to have testimonies of how successful some of our members became standing for nothing. And of course, the gala on October 22nd, where we will be awarding, the entrepreneurs of the years, the executive of the years, community, and challenge.
Awesome. Folks, there's a lot of great events here with La Cámara de Empresarios Latinos of Houston. And also with NHPO, the National Hispanic Professional Organization. Remember, September 16, remember the Chamber Breakfast and the Gala. That's going to be October the 22nd. 22nd, October the 22nd. And don't forget to visit their website. Each of the organizations have websites. We're going to put the websites in the comments below. And we're also going to put their contact information. But the most important thing is, reach out to these organizations. We could give you all this information, but if you don't reach out, there's nothing we could do. Once again, Ilsa, thank you for participating. Thank you to NHPO for always supporting us. Adriana, thank you. Thank you. Not only has she been a great friend and neighbor, and well, now she moved away, but she's always been a great collaborator of all the stuff that we do with the government, with the organization, with the networking group. So thank you so much. Thank you for always participating, because you know what? The most important thing that a human being has is their time. And Ilsa and Adriana have always been there to give of their time. So take advantage of these great leaders, entrepreneurs, community leaders that are willing and able to help you out there. So thank you once again. Thank you to everybody that supports us. Give it a like, comment, and share. And we'll see you next time in our show, Enfoque Houston. My name is Pablo, FabricioValle.com, the Godfather of Networking, and also founder of Small Business Connection.
¿Tiene usted un pequeño negocio o le gustaría emprender una idea? Small Business Connection le puede ayudar. Mi nombre es Pablo Valle, el padrino de networking y presidente de Small Business Connection. Llámenos al 281-971-1976. El número es 281-971-1976 para llevar su negocio o idea a otro nivel. Small Business Connection.